Listen up, President Trump. If I see you again and I see an AI video of you and me, maybe, I'm unsure what I saw, but I saw it. You need to say it to me when I pass by, and if we do pass by, we'll be passing by each other. And that means you say it to my face. The black male Democrat is the weakest link. I keep telling you guys this. They put them behind mics and podiums. They are the weakest link. This man's name is Hakeem Jeffries. That is the blackest name you can ever give somebody. That man is not black. Hakeem Jeffries. Was his parents the Black Panther Party? His name is not Hakeem Jeffries. That nigga name is Wilbur Peters. Wilbur Peters. These are your policymakers. Who's voting Democrat?
Hakeem Jeffries, I want you to sit your candy corn, little teeth having ass down somewhere. Yes, I'm talking to you. You great value, orthopedic head ass, Obama looking. I'm talking to you, Hakeem Jeffries. You gonna have the audacity to say something that he won't say it in your face. Who is you? You think cause your name Hakeem that you the Prince of Zamunda. You think you coming to America. We in America and you ain't doing shit, Hakeem. You think you Prince of Zamunda and you think you can say what you want to say? Talking about somebody won't say that to your face. Don't nobody want to say that to your face with them little bitty ass teeth in your mouth. You grown as hell with 2-year-old teeth. How you that old and ain't lost your baby teeth? Huh? You sitting here doing all this shit like somebody supposed to be scared of you. Who is you? Who you supposed to be? You ain't no damn body to be scared of. Talking about they won't say. Oh, okay. Oh, you letting your little testes hang today. I see. Yeah, but ain't no, man, sit down. Matter of fact, take several seats and sit down, Mr. Hakeem.
So I was thinking, what if the reason Joe Biden felt comfortable enough to say, if we don't vote for him, we're not black, is the same reason why President L.B. Johnson said that he's going to have black people, or actually these N-words, voting Democrat for the next 200 years? Is it because they still view us as their property? And what I mean by that is both of these presidents were Democrat. And did you know the Democratic Party, historically speaking, was the party of segregation, slavery, the KKK, and racism? I don't know. But once I find enough dots, I start connecting them.
Many whites who are trying to solve the problem, but you never see them going under the label of liberals. That white person that you see calling himself a liberal is the most dangerous thing in the entire Western Hemisphere. He's the most deceitful. He's like a fox. And a fox is always more dangerous in the forest than the wolf. You can see the wolf coming. You know what he's up to. But the fox will fool you. He comes at you with his mouth shaped in such a way that even though you see his teeth, you think he's smiling.
What's going on, brothers and sisters? I appreciate you guys pulling up today. Hey, man, those opening clips, phenomenal. Dude said Hakeem Jeffries still got baby teeth. Hilarious. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. I got a couple more clips to share with you guys, man. Let's get into it, man. If you're not subscribed, hit that daggone subscribe button, man. Join what we're doing over here at ARP, man. God bless you guys, man. Let's keep going.
Wrapping up the day here at Capitol Hill, it looks like, unfortunately, I think the government is going to shut down, and a large part of that is the Democrats not happy with the Medicaid cuts that were made as part of the big, beautiful bill. And so I was talking to a few Republican members here, and I got to actually talk to Rand Paul. I actually was able to talk with him in the elevator about this issue. So I think the sticking point for Medicaid with the Democrats is, let's take California, for example. California has a high demographic of individuals that are not here legally. And prior to the expansion of healthcare for them, the hospitals were inundated with people they could not handle. And so when that expansion happened and immigrants who are here, undocumented immigrants that are here, were able to get insurance, all of a sudden, you then had this new kind of revenue stream that came in not only to the hospitals, but now to all these doctors and providers in California. So if this big, beautiful bill and the Medicaid mandates go into place, I think what will happen in California will be a catastrophe, because you'll have all of these individuals now that are not documented with no health insurance. So all of the providers that were making money off of this kind of like new economics in California are now not going to be making any money, and instead these individuals that are undocumented are going to have to go to the hospital for treatment, and that's going to, instead of make the hospital money because they're covered by Medicaid, it's going to create a situation where now the hospitals are losing millions of dollars. So that is what I believe the sticking point is with Medicaid with Democrats. It has to do with a situation in states like California where you have millions and millions of undocumented individuals, and if they lose insurance, not only will the providers now not make money and the hospitals are not making money, but their only course for them to get treatment is to go to the emergency room, because the hospitals absolutely have to treat anyone who goes to the ER. So now all of a sudden you're looking at a situation where the hospitals are losing billions of dollars instead of making billions of dollars by the Medicaid recipients. So that's where I think this is going, and that's kind of what I explained to Senator Rand Paul, is like, you can't look at this from a macro level. You have to look at what's happening in California to understand that Medicaid, if that goes away for the undocumented individuals in California, you're going to create a catastrophe for the hospital system.
Yes. So what this young lady explained is exactly what we've been talking about for the past couple of days, right? And really, we've been talking about it probably for the past 2 or 3 years at this point. Yes, there are illegal immigrants, there are undocumented folks that are receiving Medicare, which says that they're receiving health care. The hospitals are saying, yeah, we'll take them as long as they have Medicaid because they make money. This is a new revenue stream. The problem with that is that these people need to be deported, sent back to whatever country they came from, because all of the citizens, those of us that actually pay for health care, all of our premiums are double or triple. And the deductibles have doubled or tripled or more in some cases, right? It's almost like you don't have insurance until you hit that $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 deductible. Now, she's saying it's going to be a catastrophe by taking away undocumented folks who were on Medicare. I say that the people that are undocumented who are on Medicare, they need to go back home. They need to be up out of our nation. Simple as that. Simple as that. And the fact that California, which is, one of the, top 2 largest states in our nation, Cali and Texas, and they both have a similar issue, but they're handling the issue differently. Texas being more of a Republican-led state, California being a liberal or Democrat-led state, they're handling things in a completely different way. Texas, hey, one of the more affordable places. You got a lot of companies moving there. California, one of the most expensive places to live, and companies are fleeing. We cannot continue to support people that's not supposed to be here, who don't have a legacy of people that have paid into the system. We just can't afford to do it, man.
The president did try to bring them into the room the other day, and they wouldn't budge. I mean, look, the facts here are pretty simple. The Republican Party has put on the floor and voted for a clean, continuing resolution, no changes. These are Biden budget numbers, by the way, and numbers that Democrats have voted for 13 times. Nothing up our sleeves here, Caitlin. They're trying to keep the government open long enough to negotiate things like the health care issue, which you were just debating, which I actually think maybe Republicans will wind up dealing on that. But they're not going to do it under duress, and they're not going to do it under threat of rolling back all the Medicaid reforms that were done this summer. So I think President Trump tried to bring the Democrats in. And at the end of the day, I think the American people know here they're looking at 2 parties. One's trying to do a bunch of funny business. One's trying to keep the doors open. And right now, I don't think the funny business side is winning in the eyes of the American people.
Well, I just want to correct something. Scott, you know how much I respect you, but let's be honest here.
I don't need to be corrected, and I don't need to be told I'm dishonest, Karen. But by all means, go ahead. We're stunned. I'll just be honest with you. We're stunned. I mean, the Democratic constituencies are principally immigration populations and government workers. This is what your party relies on, and you've closed shop on government in Washington, D.C. Yep. And eventually they're going to get tired of it. There is no
So you're
reason
saying
this
that
government
75
cannot be
million
left open.
Americans who voted for Kamala Harris were all immigrants?
No, I'm
that's
saying
not true.
I'm saying I'm listening to Democratic arguments about most policy issues, and I'm looking at Democratic energy, and it mostly has to do with things to do with immigrants, illegal and some legal, and things to do with government bureaucrats. And right now, you're putting one of your constituencies out of business.
Can I say one thing, which is that people who are in the country illegally cannot get these subsidies
Sure
that we're
they can.
talking about?
Sure they can.
No, they can't.
No,
Sure
they
they
can't.
can't.
It's
When they-
federal law, Scott,
who
as
do you
know,
think?
but
Who do you think pays when they go to the emergency room? It's the Medicaid
Scott,
emergency
going
program.
to the emergency room is not getting an Obamacare subsidy. The
You
emergency
guys are
room is not
conflating. You
healthcare,
guys are
Scott.
conflating
No, we're
these
not,
issues.
Scott.
You're
You're
conflating
conflating
these
and
issues.
you're being dishonest with
The
the American
subsidies are
people
a separate
about this,
issue. The
because you know
Medicaid
it's
program cuts
unpopular.
are a different thing.
Right, but I'm talking
Medicaid
about
and the
subsidies.
Obamacare stuff are two different issues. And I said
Correct.
the subsidies may get negotiated over time, but what Democrats want to do is roll back what the Republican Medicaid reforms were. They want, look, I don't understand why everybody's so mad. For time immemorial, Democrats have argued that it's good. It's good for illegal immigrants to get Medicaid. Every candidate for president in 2020 raised their hand for it. In the big, beautiful bill debate, they argued it was good policy. I can't believe there's an about
but
face in the
Scott,
Democratic Party on it today.
Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants. Okay.
Hold on. I got a question for Karen, but Scott, I will say,
Sure.
people who are in the country illegally also can't get Medicaid.
Sure
That's
they can.
federal law.
Sure they can.
They can't get Medicaid.
They also
Medicare,
can't register
CHIP,
to vote. They also
Obamacare
can't register to
subsidies.
vote, but we just found one in Maryland who was running the Des Moines
one.
school system.
Oh my God, one.
I mean, I'm
Scott.
telling you.
Hey, if there's one, there's 1,000. Stop it.
You guys say these things can't happen,
I'm
and
just
then they
saying,
happen.
Scott, but I'm
Oh
just
my
saying
God,
it's
you're
federal
absurd.
law. And
You
they're
can
not
run
trying to
cover.
roll
You
back-
can run cover
they're not
for
trying
it if
to
you
roll
want,
back
but they
federal law.
do get federal
It's
tax
just the
money.
facts.
They get
But Karen,
federal
can I ask
tax
you-
money. Ask Jake.
Yeah.
He had it on today.
I'm just saying it's against
reimbursements to hospitals, some of which does go to undocumented immigrants using healthcare there to those hospitals.
The amount of money that actually is going towards people who are undocumented is such a small portion of the Medicaid cuts or the Affordable Care Act.
Support giving illegal immigrants taxpayer-funded health care, yes or no?
We support giving money, support
The
for
answer is
healthcare
yes. You expanded health care access in 2024
Yes, I did.
under Medicaid.
for senior
Governor,
citizens
after
and
the
moms with
election,
new
you
babies.
said,
I would do it all
reclaiming
over
my
again.
time. Governor.
These people are sick, man. And the crazy thing is that you do have people out there that believe these Democrats, man. They're like, oh no, that's not happening. Illegal immigrants aren't, on Medicare, Medicaid. They're not on this. Dude, if we don't make the proper cuts, we are on the way. Less than 10 years from now, from Medicaid not even being a thing, it's going to be defunct. I mean, you can't have people that hadn't actually worked and paid into the system on the actual benefits. It wasn't meant for that. But Democrats have figured out a way to make sure that they fund their new voter base. This is their voter block that they're taking care of. And Scott Jennings is absolutely right. Hey, they care about the government bureaucrats and they care about illegal immigrants. They don't care about poor folks, poor citizens. They don't care about veterans. They don't care about those of us in the middle class. And they for daggone sure don't care about those, that are the employers, which would be the top 1%, right? They don't care about them either. They're solely about supporting the people that they think would put them in a position to maintain power. It's ridiculous. I got to show the clip one more time because it just showcases that these people are liars. Look at this.
I haven't heard anybody in my party saying that illegal immigrants should get access to the health insurance marketplace.
I'm so glad you said that. Actually, I have some tape of your Democratic Party members saying this on the debate stage. So they've all said it. Let's play the clip.
A lot of you have been talking tonight about these government health care plans that you've proposed in one form or another. This is a show of hands question, and hold them up for a moment so people can see. Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants. Okay.
Senator, that's literally every member of your party, from moderate to more progressive, that have said that in the past.
That is every person that would have been considered a leader of the Democrat Party that said, hey, we are pro Medicare, Medicaid services for undocumented or illegal immigrants. And the thing is that Lawrence doing great work over there at Fox. Great work over there. Shout out to that brother there. But I'm not exactly sure who this young lady is here. And I say that, trying to be nice. But as soon as she said it out of her mouth, she knew, oh, snaps, I shouldn't have said that. Because you see how she rolled their daggone neck? You see it. I want to show it to you. I want you to see it. Look, wait. Oh, man, this is phenomenal. Look at her. She's like, you got me. Hey, the chickens are coming home to roost, man. Tulsi Gabbard putting it out there, letting it be known that, hey, Democrats are fleeing the party. The folks that would consider themselves Democrats, they're getting up out of here, man. They're saying, nah, I can't support these people. Now, I'm not saying they're going and joining the Republican Party, but I'm okay with them saying, you know what, I'm an independent. Just don't continue to vote blue no matter who.
Quite frankly, that really speaks to the very clear choice and the different mindset that exists between these two candidates, President Trump and Vice President Harris, who are running for president, and those who are supporting them. There are those of us who stand with President Trump because we recognize that in this election, he is our best hope to preserve freedom, to work our way towards peace and prosperity. And Kamala Harris guarantees the exact opposite of those things. And this is not my opinion. It's the proof can be found in her record. And we look at the reaction that's held, for example, there's a very famous actress who in this past week expressed some appreciation and empathy for Melania Trump, former First Lady Melania Trump, in her very heartfelt video about what she went through and what it was like for her and her family to see her husband almost assassinated. And this very famous actress felt for her and her feelings and was excoriated by Hollywood and by the propaganda media. How dare she express empathy for this woman whose husband was almost killed, almost shot in the face? And kudos to this actress for not backing down and simply saying, what are we as a country when you have people who are eager to celebrate the death of another human being?
Tulsi's absolutely right. And obviously, this is an older clip here, but I wanted to bring it because it just showcased not too long ago with the death and assassination of Charlie Kirk. And you had people out there celebrating. You have people still out there celebrating. I mean, it's ridiculous, man. It is ridiculous. And a lot of people, because of the left's rhetoric, because of the way Democrats have showcased themselves, are saying, I just can't align myself with people that are this wicked and evil. I just can't.
They're lying. They're just outright lying.
That is a bold-faced lie, and it really shows how desperate they are.
This is also an outright lie. There is nothing in anything that we have proposed that is trying to change that law.
They make up lies, absolute lies. They say, what they're fighting to do is prevent, say, illegal immigrants from getting federal health care dollars. That is a damn lie.
I feel like they've walked into a bit of a trap because your point is that if they were to make these changes, it would allow states to use federal dollars to help give illegal immigrants health care. Go.
Yes, that's exactly right, Dana. In fact, I have the Democrat proposed continuing resolution right here, where you can read in the text a provision that would remove the provision that Republicans passed in President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill to ensure that illegal aliens in our country cannot receive Medicaid and taxpayer-funded health care benefits. That was happening under the Biden administrations, and the Democrats endorsed it, encouraged it, and vocally supported it. Joe Biden and the Democrats allowed millions and millions of illegal aliens into our country. They paroled them into the country. They gave them a Band-Aid called temporary protective status. They completely abused our immigration system. And then those illegal aliens were receiving the taxpayer-funded health care benefits of hardworking American taxpayers. That's why wait times at hospitals went through the roof under the Biden administration. And that's why the Trump administration and President Donald Trump immediately fixed this and changed it into law with the One Big Beautiful Bill. And now Democrats, rather than just passing a clean continuing resolution to keep the government funded, which is what the president and Republicans want, they submitted a continuing resolution that puts this poison pill back into law. That's what they want to do. And it's completely unacceptable. President Trump ran on the promise to end taxpayer-funded benefits going to illegal aliens. And tens of millions of Americans across the country voted him back to this beautiful White House to implement that promise, and he did. And now Democrats want to undo it. And they are holding our country hostage. They are holding the American people hostage for this wildly unpopular proposal to give taxpayer-funded benefits to illegals. And now they're lying about it, and they know it.
Yeah. Shout out to Caroline Levitt coming with the receipts. I mean, come on, man. We have Americans here that are struggling to either pay their premiums or they don't have health care at all. But yet we have illegal immigrants out here. My grandmother just had a hip replacement, and she's on Medicaid, and it cost her some bread, a lot. And fortunately enough for her, she has myself and she has, my uncles that can step in and help, fill in the gaps, when she need assistance, but there's a lot of people out there that don't have that. There's a lot of people out there that don't have it. Now, my grandmother on my father's side, she only had boys, and my sister and I are the only grandchildren on that side of things. So I have to, help when she reaches out, or even when she doesn't reach out. We have citizens right here that have worked their tails off. They have paid into the system and they're paying. But yet we have illegal immigrants, undocumented folks that just got here recently, don't have anybody that's paid $1 into the system, and they're receiving free health care. Man, kick rocks, man. Seriously. This is ridiculous. But I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. What are your thoughts? Like, share, subscribe. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. All right? Support what we're doing over here at ARP. Appreciate the love, support. If you want to take it a step further, join the ARP family or buy your brother a coffee. That link in the description box below. Appreciate everybody that supports what we're doing here. I really do. Keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time. Peace.
Vibes so raw, can't hide the truth.